Okay, so there is a general saying that old is gold, but is that gold for you? We are going to talk about that in this particular video. Now, C++ as a programming language, I can't stop thinking about it, talking about it, because this was the language with which I started my career. I had created lots of amazing things with C++, and even though I'm not actively coding in C++ today, production level code, I'm still aware of it. I still try to find out all those things happening in and around C++. And it will not be an exaggeration to say that maybe I'm in love with C++. But leading that particular bias aside, let's talk about we as a programmer, we as a software developers, we as a company, we as a group who want to develop a new software. Should we consider using C++? Now, if you ask this particular question, people come up with performance. They say that C++ is highly performant as compared to any other programming language. As much as it is true, I do not want to go ahead and believe in just performance part, because in my personal opinion, there are other languages which can give comparable performance in many other scenarios. For example, C, for example, Go, especially if you are writing Go routines, for example, Rust. All these languages are capable of creating high performance software. So whenever people create some comparison that, okay, this is my code and you can see that Rust took this much seconds, C++ took these much seconds, I generally don't want to buy that particular argument. I'm not saying that those arguments are incorrect or those results are incorrect. They are absolutely correct. But you should not select a language or check the performance of it based on one particular situation which has nothing to do with what you are trying to build. So what you are trying to build is of utmost importance. Now, C++ comes in a category of high performance language which can generate high performance code. And when you are searching a high performance code, you have to understand two things. Do you have people with the expertise to write kind of code which can generate high performance? Because let me be very clear that as a programmer, I can make sure that even the high performance code or programming language can fail miserably. Okay, so you need to have people with that particular skill set and capability and even the imagination and creativity to write that kind of code. And the second thing is that, does performance really matters to you in your software, in your service, in your program which you are creating? Like, for example, if a language is taking 300 milliseconds for doing something, and if you are using C++ or Go or Rust, if they are taking 50 milliseconds, the difference is 250 milliseconds, right? But if you are servicing to an end user, end customer, is that such a big difference? I know when you are creating a server or backend system, that makes a huge difference. But is that making a huge difference to the thing which you are trying to do? Because there will be lots of effort even to come up with a working prototype as compared to languages like JavaScript or Python. So there is a trade-off: faster development or creating high performance code. So let me tell you what I would have done. Most of the time, if I just have to show the idea to someone and convince about an idea to someone, I may end up creating that particular idea in a programming language where I can do it fast. And if I get enough traction, I maybe, migrate it to a high performance language like C++. I'll prefer C++ because I know I can write a high performance code in C++ based on my own experience. But if you can use C, Go, Rust, or maybe some other languages, you should go ahead and do that. So performance is not the only criteria to select C++. I am against that particular thought process by seeing only one dimension, because each and everything in our life are multidimensional. You cannot decide based on just looking at one thing. So that was all about performance, but let's talk about creation of algorithms and meta programs. This is one place where C++ might end up being better than even other high performance languages, because if you want to really create a meta program, C++ is best suited for that, because C++, that template library, standard template library, it's tailor-made for creating meta programs. And when you write meta programs, you write high quality code because of templates, and you just fit into those templates and everything is done for you. And if we talk about algorithms, C++ has huge set of algorithms built into that. And you can even create a new algorithms in relatively easier way, because if you are writing an algorithm on a piece of paper, it's easy to convert that algorithm to a C++ code than maybe many other code bases. That's my opinion, my understanding. So whether or not you should use C++ in, consider performance, consider algorithm, consider time, consider metaprogramming. And these are the 4 criteria on which you should judge C++ as a programming language for your work. And I know I am talking something different than most other people are talking about, because I know this is the right way to compare. And I do hope and believe that I have did that for you. Thank you all.